Hi everybody, thanks for coming back to see this next video. Today we're making kombucha. Okay. Need yourself a clean jar. You have to make sure it's clean, very clean. And your lid to put on your jar, or some cheesecloth and a big rubber band. And 7 black tea bags. 2, we'll go with 8 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8 tea bags. And it should have black tea in it. Most of the bags you can get around here, the standard bags, are orange pico and black tea mixed. That'll work fine. Now you put your tea bags in your jar. You have some hot water, boiling hot water. Then you pour it over your tea bags. And my kettle's leaking. It's not really kettle. There.
These assholes in check, lady. Doing a fucking job here. I'll see you right now.
And then you need 1 cup of sugar. Now this should be cane sugar, but we're not going to put that in yet. You put your tea bags in. Let them steep for 15 minutes, half an hour or so. And then what you do is you let your tea bags, take your tea bags out and let them the tea completely cool to room temperature. So we'll come back in a little bit after that's done and I'll show you the rest of it. And you'll need a bottle of kombucha if you don't have a SCOBY. But if you don't have a SCOBY, no problem, you can make one. Go to the store and it costs about, I think it was like $3.50 for this one. It's in the refrigerated section of your store. And you gotta take it out of your fridge and let it warm up to room temperature. And you can use this as your starter. But what I'm going to do today, because I've already done this step, is I'm going to use my own SCOBY. I have several SCOBYs in this jar. SCOBY means, the SCOBY means symbiotic cultures of bacteria and yeast. You can grow your own SCOBYs and don't throw them away. You can use these over and over and over. And if it gets too thick, you just rip it apart. Put 1 layer in there. We'll show you that step after the tea is cooled down. And when your water that you use for your kombucha cannot be chlorinated water. No chlorine from like city water or nothing. Use bottled water or well water or purified water, whatever, as long as it doesn't have chlorine in it, because chlorine will kill the bacteria and you don't want that. Because what kombucha is a natural probiotic, like what you find in yogurt and stuff. But for people like me, it's better to drink kombucha because I'm lactose intolerant, and in the milk products like that, not cheese and that, but just like yogurts and that kind of stuff that's milky, you know, the lactose is still in it, and it's not friendly to me. I love it, but it don't like me. So I'm going to continue letting this cool, And then get yourself a container of cold water. And very hot yet. After this cools down, well, I may cool it down with the cold water, but I'm going to take the tea bags out now. That's not good. Take the tea bags out now because they've been in here long enough. And make sure that your utensils and stuff that you use are clean too. Everything has to be clean for this. Just take them out and squeeze them out like you do. Like you would drinking tea, hot tea. Make sure we got all this butter over there. Now we'll put our sugar in. While the water's hot, it will help dissolve it faster. And once again, this should be cane sugar because cane sugar cannot be GMO'd. Like what most of your refined sugars in the store are GMO'd. Sugar beets can be, but cane sugar cannot be GMO'd. It's organic. You can put it cut up in half. And if you're diabetic, it's not going to matter because the natural yeast that's in there, yeast feeds on sugar. It will eat up the sugar that's in there. And kombucha is really good for you because it's a naturally fermented product. And there is a slight amount of alcohol that's in there, but not enough to hurt you or anything. And there will be a small amount of sugar, but not enough to cause problems. And I drink this all the time, and I have for a long time, so I know it's very good for you. And what you do after you get it mixed until my sugar's all mixed up there. So then we'll just add in our cold water. I want to fill it all the way to the top, but you got to have room for your SCOBY and your starter. There. Now mix that up. Just like you're making tea for the hot way for iced tea. You just leave this sitting out and let it cool down to room temperature because it's still quite hot. Put my cover on it to keep it clean. Wash your lid and everything. Make sure everything is clean. Can't stress that enough. And if you've never made kombucha before, you get to this part, and when it's cooled down to no higher than maybe 100 degrees, you dump this in, right into your tea. You only have to do this once. And then you cover it with your lid or something, and you just loosen the lid so it's on there loosely. You don't tighten it down because it has to be able to breathe. But you have to have a cheesecloth or a cover like this on it, loose fitting lid. because gnats are attracted to this stuff, and flies, they will come from nowhere because they love it. And you leave this sit in a darker place, kind of a warm place in your kitchen or wherever you want to put it, usually the kitchen. And you leave it sit for 7 days. And on the 8th day, take it out, because on the 8th day there's an acid, that natural acid that comes in there that's really good for people with arthritis and stuff. It's awesome stuff. And then what you do is bottle it, and you do a second ferment. And what that is you take any kind of flavoring you want to use, and you put this down. And the way I do it anyway, I keep these bottles, and you put about so much grape juice, apple juice, even plain sugar or honey. You can use honey, and then you fill it up with your juice that's in there, with your kombucha. You fill it up at the top and put the lid on it tightly, and then mix it up. Then sit it in a warm place for 3 to 4 days. Usually about 4 days I go. You don't have to, but I do. And then you pick it up, and at this time, after the 3 or 4 days, don't shake it. Be very careful. Put it in the fridge. Let it get cold. And when you open this, go very slowly, because kombucha is naturally carbonated. So if you got kids that love their pop and stuff, they'll like this, because it has a different taste. It's kind of a vinegary, kind of sweet sour like taste. It's different. It takes some getting used to. On the first ferment, you can taste it then. It's fine to drink. You don't have to do the second step. There's a slight little pick on your tongue when you taste it. It's got a little fizz, not a lot. But well, you got to keep the cover loose on there too, so the gases can get out. But on this time around, when you do it the second time, don't be doing this number, because it'll explode in your face. You got to loosen your cap and slowly, and you have to do like, let gas out slowly, because it's very effervescent then on the second ferment, and it will go all over the place. And it's ready to drink out of here after like 3 or 4 days. 7 days in process. I process mine on the end of the 8th day, because it's better. Put it in your bottles. I use 2-liter pop bottles. Fill about so much juice in here, and the equivalent in a pop bottle, and then fill it up with your kombucha. Sit it on your counter or whatever for 4 days, let's say, and then carefully pick it up without shaking it too much, and put it in the fridge. You're going to see particles and globs and stuff floating in there, but that's fine. Leave it in there. That's the probiotics that are in there, and you just drink them down. They're very good for you. So after this cools down, I'll be back, and I've already got a SCOBY going, so I'll show you how to put the SCOBY in there and stuff after it's all cooled down enough. So we'll be back then. Okay, now we'll come up. We'll get our SCOBY into our kombucha too, and get the process started. So we made our tea, sugar, and water earlier. Let me lower you down some more so you can see. There we go. Now, wash my hands again. my information rinse it off again. Give it a stir. Now my tea and sugar water here is just, I mean, maybe body temperature, if that. Now we'll reach into our jar here. We'll get us a SCOBY. One out. Separated. And after your SCOBY gets too thick, because when they get thicker, they start making the kombuchas a little more tangier. You can rip them apart. See, this flappy little thing here is called a SCOBY. You just take it and you drop it in like that into the top of your feet. Take a little bit of the juice off the SCOBY that you've stored in the can. I'm going to give it a stir. And we'll get our SCOBY back over here. Kind of knock it down. There we go. There. Your SCOBY's in there. Get started doing its thing. You just put your lid on. Put it out there and back it off just a little bit. So that was loose. And then all you do is take and you put it in a warm, dark place for 7 days. But on the 8th day, what you do is leave it go the full 7 days. And then when it actually turns to the 8th day, I wait till the end of the 8th day because it's even better for you then. You take it and you can start drinking it right out of the jug there. And there'll be all kinds of floaties in there and everything, but it's nothing that's going to hurt you. You'll see a SCOBY is white, and sometimes it'll have brownish, tannish spots on it and stuff. That's just the yeast. That won't hurt you. But if you see black or it looks like mold or you smell mold when you open it, don't eat it or don't drink it. This has been made for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years, and it's made on the same principle as what yogurt and stuff is. It's just live, active cultures, and it's very good for your body and yourself. So I hope this helps you, and I hope you'll take the leap and try making your own kombucha. Thank you all for watching. Bye now. I forgot to mention, I'll probably come back after the 7 days and I'll make a video on how to do the second ferment. And it's really good. I mean, the second ferment makes it even better. It makes it more fizzy. It's like pop, but it's a little different. It's got a little twang to it, but it's incredibly healthy. It'll help you lose weight and everything else. I mean, there's all kinds of benefits to it. So, if I don't forget, I'll come back. And I also want to do a shout out to Doug and Stacy. The Doug and Stacy's off-grid. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Doug and Stacy's off-grid, I guess. But if you do a search on YouTube for Doug and Stacy, they're very popular. You'll find them. I learned how to do this from them. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you coming. Please remember to do all the things like, share, and subscribe, and comment, because every little thing you do helps my channel.